Hi, I'm Kelly Moore with Living Yoga. Today I'm in Denver, Colorado, here at Garland Park, and I have a short sequence to share, especially for cyclists. So when doing long rides, it's common that cyclists feel tension and fatigue in the neck, the shoulders, often in the back, in the hips, and the legs. So I've got a few things to help. So let's start with the shoulders. Stabilizing the lower body, let the legs and hips be firm, and bring the hands onto the hips. Roll back with the shoulders, doing a few simple shoulder rolls. As you move the shoulders, try to keep the lower body steady. Just bring this movement into the shoulders to release the muscles through the shoulders, through the neck, and through the back. We want to open the chest. In the forward position of riding, the chest area tends to close and the shoulders fall forward. Okay, now hold this position where you're bringing the arm bones back, moving the shoulder back and down, creating length of the neck. And just take a few breaths. Smooth inhale and exhale. Now keeping the arms going back behind your body and the hips firm and level, bring the hands together. Now keep the elbows bent for just a moment as you press your thumb into your tailbone and move again the arm bones back. Okay, now continue to maintain the steadiness through your body, and as you pull back now through the arms, keep the shoulders again moving back and down. Okay, and then we'll bend the elbows. Now change the interlace of the fingers, so noting which little fingers underneath, just switch the interlace. And again, start by bringing the thumbs onto the tailbone. Press into the tailbone and again roll back through the shoulders. Okay, then slowly begin to move your arms back behind your body, and if your arms are tight and your shoulders begin to come forward as you straighten your arms, just keep the arms bent. You'll have better access to your shoulder, keeping that back. Okay, so the arms extend. If this comes easily to you and you want to deepen this, bring your palms together. And then the arms can lift higher away from the ground, but the action is still in your shoulders, drawing down. Okay, then maintain this. Now we're going to take the head forward, so the arms are going down. I'm even going to descend them down toward the ground a little bit, and now draw the head forward, getting length through the back of the neck. We're going to hold this for a few breaths. Okay, so let the base of the skull lift and come forward. As you draw the shoulder blades down the back toward the ground. Okay, hold this for a few breaths. And then lift and release. The neck area often tightens and shortens when we're in that forward posture riding and the head is lifting up. So we want to create this length and lift through the back of the neck. Next, we're going to add in a few things for the calves and for the hamstrings. So if you've got a park bench nearby, this is an excellent prop. Okay, so first I'm going to bring my hands onto the back of the bench. You could use something else. It could be a pole, any other thing that you may have nearby, and then walk back. Now here I want to lengthen my torso so it's parallel to the floor, but what's most important is not that it's parallel to the floor, but that I'm getting length and that it's not rounding. So if you find you're a little stiff in the back, in the legs, then just come a little closer and lift your shoulders. Okay, and then as you can, walk your hips back, stay long through the front torso, and then you'll get that length through your hamstrings. Okay, so I'm going to separate the feet, bring the feet right under the hips, and then pull back so the thighs actually draw back, the sit bones point back to get that length. Now another way to access this length, as well as working through the hamstrings, is to bend the knees. So now as I bend the knees, I'm going to lift my hips up. So right back here, I'm lifting, and I can feel this length through the back of the leg. Okay, and you can stay here again for a few moments. Staying in the posture for a few moments will bring a deep relief. Okay, so I'm pulling back, the action with the hips is back, and as I press the hands into the park bench, I'm moving my chest forward. And then as it works for your body, you can straighten the legs, but remember, we want to avoid rounding the back up toward the sky.
That picture was really cute.
And then coming up. Now another posture that's similar, but now is going to work a little more of our calf and hamstring. Similar in the way that I'm going to use the park bench. This time I'm going to step 1 foot forward and 1 foot back. Okay, now pausing here for a moment with my torso lifted, I'm going to press the hands forward into the bench and press back into my back leg, into the heel, and this gives a fantastic length and spread of the muscles in through my calf. Okay, so again, stay for just a few moments, feeling a smooth, deepening spread of the calf muscles. Okay, and then from here, now I'm going to keep my lower body, again from the hips and the legs pressing back, as now I reach forward with my arms, moving the chest forward. Now this forward movement brings another length, now into a different place of my body, and this is now through the front leg, hamstring, and hip. Okay, so I'm pulling back with this hip as I go forward with my chest and torso. Okay, and with my thumbs up toward the sky, I'm rolling my shoulders out away from my neck to bring a length to the neck. So I'm even going to descend the head to get that length through the back of the neck one more time. Okay, again, stay for a few breaths and then come up. You know, as I mentioned before, if the hamstrings or the back feels pretty stiff, then just stay higher and work more with leveling the hips and this action of pulling back. So again, I'm going to press the bench and focus on the back heel, pressing into the ground to get the spread through the calf muscle. Okay, then maintain the hips level and even to the bench in front. Okay, and then begin to go forward with the torso, the arms reaching forward, as again the front leg hip pulls back. So now in my right leg, the forward leg, I feel the length through my hamstring. Once again, stay for a few moments. It's in the staying that we receive the benefits. I should say deeper benefits. Okay, and then come on back up. Okay, next we're going to focus give our attention to a few places through the hips, through the front of the hip. So I'm going to come down onto the grass where it is soft on the knees, and then my feet are going straight back behind me, and I'm going to lean back, bringing my hands to the ground. Now lifting up through the hips, I'm going to firm my buttock muscles and press down to focus this attention here on the lengthening of my quad muscles. So I'm spreading through the quads, lengthening down toward the knee and up toward the hip, so my pelvis lifts. Okay, my lower back is neutral, and then you can open through the shoulders. Okay, depending on your body, you may choose to go a little deeper, a little lower, but be sure that there's no pain or sensitivity in your knees or in your lower back. Okay, so as you go lower, if this works for your body, you can sit the hips down between the feet and even come onto your elbows. This is a deeper lengthening to the quad muscles. So again, be sure now that there's no sensitivity in the knees or the lower back. If there is, just come back up a little higher. So in this deeper action, as I go lower, I'm working to bring the abdomen down as the buttock muscles press toward the knees. And then coming back up. Okay, this next one, I'm going to stay on the grass with my knees, and I'm going to step 1 foot forward. Okay, pausing here, we're going to come into a lunge to bring length now deeper into these hip muscles. Okay, so I'm going to lunge forward, and as I do, I'm going to lift upward through the pubic bone. So I'm lifting, again, descending the buttocks to maintain that length through my lower back. Okay, pausing here. Okay, I'm just going to stay for a few moments. Okay, I can feel this lengthening through the quad and up into the hip, and then I'm going to turn. Okay, so maintaining the lower body steady as I turn the chest to go to the side. You can turn with the breath. Each inhale, lift tall and lift from the pubic bone to keep this length and lift through the whole front body, and then on the exhalation, turning the upper body. Just let the head turn easily with your shoulders, avoiding the head turning first. Okay, and then release. Okay, second side. Okay, so again, the foot points back. As the knee comes forward, I'm going to move forward from my tailbone. Okay, pause here. You may feel being very different on the second side. Okay, so again, the hip bones, the pubic bone lifts in front as I extend upward. Okay, and then turning to the second side, go slowly, again keeping the lower body steady and turning through the shoulders. With the breath, each inhalation lifting, each exhale turning a little deeper. Now you may find the bent leg hip is starting to lift toward the waist, so we do want to press down to keep that elongated, and that brings the deepening stretch through that back leg hip. And then coming out. So after coming up, it's nice to balance out the sides of the body evenly one last time. So again, pull back with your hips, pointing the sit bones back, and again, moving the chest forward. Now feel there's an evenness through the hip muscles, through your back, as you find this balance from side to side. So part of the yoga practice, or an essential part of the practice, is the noticing, observing your body, and working in the optimal way for you. So I hope these tips today, this small sequence, gives you some benefit as you're on your longer rides. So this may serve as a little break or a great starter or end to your ride. Kelly Moore with Living Yoga.